Okay, so I'll be talking about the labor code of the Philippines, um, which is in the book 6. So, the labor code of the Philippines is the legal code governing employment practices and labor relations in the Philippines. It prohibits terminations of employment of private employees except for just or authorized cases as prescribed in the Article 282 to 284 of the Code. The Labor Code of the Philippines is a decree instituting a labor code by revising and consolidating labor and social laws to afford protection to labor, promote employment and human resource development, and ensure industrial peace based on social justice. I'll be talking about Article 279. So, Article 279, it's about security of tenure. It means that in cases of regular employment, the employer shall not terminate the service of an employee except for a just cause or when unauthorized by this title. So it simply means that here in the Philippines, terminating an employee in the country is taken very seriously and can be a complex process. Employers can dismiss the employee based on just and authorized causes if there's a good reason, a just reason, or a just cause. Then an employer can dismiss an employee, or willingly if the employee is not comfortable with his or her job and wants to voluntarily resign. As we move on to Article 280, it's about regular and casual employment. When we talk about regular and casual employment, it says that the provision of written agreement to the contrary, notwithstanding and regardless of the oral agreement of parties, an employment shall be deemed to be regular where the employee has been engaged to perform activities which are usually necessary or desirable in the usual business or trade of the employer. So, in Article 280, meaning that when a regular, like, because there are two, regular employee and casual. So, the casual employee is like rendered at least 1 year service in the same company where such service is continuous or like broken. For example, like a maintenance worker. And then we have the regular employments. It's like, for example, it's like a shoemaker in the company. Those who are engaged to perform activities which are usually necessary or desirable in the usual business or trade of the employer. So the Article 280 regular and casual employment is already explained, but both of them are rendered at least like 1 year of services with respect to the activity in which he or she is employed, and his employment shall like continue while such activity still exists. So let's move on to Article 281. Article 281 is about probationary employment. Okay, when we talk about probationary employment, it's it's uh, it's it shall not exceed 6 months from the date the employee started working unless it is covered by an apprenticeship agreement stipulating a longer period. Moving on to Article 282, it's termination by employee. An employee may may terminate an employment for any of the following causes. We have serious misconduct or willful disobedience by the employer of the lawful orders of his employer or respective in connection with his work. If there is a misconduct, or if the employee disobeys the employer, then the employer, however, has the right to terminate the employee. Then we have the gross habitual neglect by the employer of his duties. If you're posted to do a job and if you neglect that, then the employer has the right to terminate the employee. Then there is fraud, as we all know what fraud is. So if you do a fraud in a company and your boss finds out, then he or she has the right to terminate you. And also, if commission of a crime or offense by an employee against the person of his employer or any intermediate member of his family, his duly authorized representatives, then your boss can terminate you if you do a crime, or if you offend his family members or maybe a business partner. Then he or she, as an employee or your boss, has the right to fire you. Then the last one says other causes analogs to the foregoing. Okay, so there we have it. That's all. Moving on. As we move on to Article 281, it's about probationary employment. Probationary employment shall not exceed 6 months from the date the employee started working, unless it is covered by an apprenticeship agreement stipulating a longer period. So when we talk about the probationary employment, it's like an appointment that is made to afford the employer an opportunity to observe the fitness of the probationer while at work, and to ascertain that whether he or she will become a proper fitness of the job while at work.